Hi everybody, it's Geordie from Geordie Colours. Thank you for joining me. I am back with page number 40 of our full book colour along in RJ Hampson's gorgeous book Awake, and this one is called Quadraped Moped and it's super cute. And yeah, 40 pages in. It's going pretty fast now. We've only got 10 pages left, so let's dive in. So as always, using my Ohuhu markers and then just probably going in with some white gel pen and maybe a few other details, we'll see. So I'm going to start with the little moped. Of course, I'm going to have to do it in a turquoisey color because, I don't know, just mopeds are turquoise in my brain. So I'm starting with a G4, G360 and G340. And as always, I'm going to start with my darkest marker first and then shade out with out to my lightest. Goodness, can't speak today. So yeah, this is I can't believe we're at page 40. It's like it's gone so fast. Excuse me if I'm a little bit distracted. I am expecting an interruption at some point just because it always happens. But yeah, I have finished work for the day, but I'm expecting somebody to give me a call, so I'm kind of waiting around for that. But I thought if I wait any longer, I'm never going to get anything else done. So I just thought, well, I'll crack on while I've got a few minutes, and then if they do call me, I can go and answer and carry on afterwards. Okay, so just trying to figure out where the shadows are going to go on this. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I'm kind of thinking all of this bottom bit will be quite dark, and then along here. So I hope you're all keeping well. I hope you're getting plenty of colouring time in and yeah, enjoying weather. And I know it's the end of the winter time for a lot of you. Spring is probably nearly over and you're heading in towards summer, which is quite exciting. Yeah, we are definitely getting warmer here in the UAE. It's the humidity that kind of gets to me. It's creeping up. Yeah, I always thought that there wasn't much humidity in desert countries, but now having lived here, I realize that that is not the case. It's definitely quite humid here in the summertime, and we can get up to like 80% humidity, which is pretty intense when you're coupling that with kind of temperatures of around, well, pretty close to 50 degrees Celsius. It's not quite that hot yet. We are still kind of mid 30s. Some days are creeping up to the kind of like 40s Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. It's hot. So yeah, it's kind of getting to the point where it's starting to get a little bit warm. It's difficult to spend too much time out of doors in this weather. Like you kind of sweat profusely. So not a huge amount of fun. Having a repeat performance of last week when my dinosaurs were a little bit too dark for my liking, but that's okay. Okay, so we've got a few little kind of excess details that we need to do here. So I've got some greys. I'm just double checking what I've got. I think these are the ones I want to use. Yeah, so I've got NG09, NG06 and NG03. So I'm going to use these for the tires and then possibly a few other bits and pieces. I never quite know how to color tires. Like, I feel like there should be kind of more shading than I do. I do it very basically. So yeah, if you're looking for how to color your tires and make them look realistic, I'm not the person to see. I kind of, yeah, just kind of do a basic shading. But some people are really clever and can kind of make it, yeah, look a little bit more realistic, but I don't know, it just never seems to work out for me, so I'll just stick with what I know. And I am just keeping things pretty basic today, and I have done a couple of backgrounds in the last couple of videos, I think. So this one, I'm just keeping it no background. We're just coloring the image, which is what I kind of said we would do when I started this series, just coloring it, keeping things super simple, not worrying about all the extra details, just quick, easy, and fun. And yeah, that was kind of the name of the game when I started the series, and I kind of want to keep that going. Yeah, I did add a few backgrounds to a few things, but I kind of just like the simpleness of, you know, doing something a little bit more basic. So yeah, so we're just going to do the actual image itself today. Okay, so then I've got a few areas that will need a little bit of like silvery color. So I'm going to use BG070 and BG050. Now these are not the normal kind of metallic silvery markers that I normally use. So, you know, let's see how they turn out. I think they're going to be okay. I just decided to try something a little bit different. So I often find, and you might be the same, that I reach for the same markers over and over again, and those ones are getting a little bit drier. And I know it's been a little bit tough to get hold of Ohuhus lately. So I'm trying to use some of the other colors that I wouldn't normally reach for and give them a go as well, so that I can yeah, spread out the love and save some of my other markers a little bit. But I think this color combination works quite nicely. A little bit on here as well. I'm just doing it in sections because, as always, I always talk about this when I use my alcohol markers on screen. But what you don't want to do is for the paper to dry out too much. So you want to keep the paper nice and moist as you're working. It makes it much easier to blend the alcohol markers together and get a bit more of a seamless transition between the colors. If the paper dries out too much, then the markers won't blend and you won't get that nice kind of seamless transition that you, well, that just looks a bit better if you get that kind of nice look. I don't always, you know, I'm not, again, I'm not an expert, but it's just what now I meant to do that yellow. I can go over that. Yeah, it's just what I have found works for me. Okay, I'm going to finish this little bit, and as expected, I've just had my interruption, so typical, I'm going to have to go and take this phone call, and I'll be back shortly. Okay, my apologies, that was the big interruption out of the way. Let's carry on before I start losing the light. Okay, so I've got a little bit more here to do with this grey combination, and then we can move on to other things. So that's pretty much my little moped done. Oh, I forgot the seat. I'm going to do that in the dark greys as well. So NG09, NG06 and NG03. So I did actually kind of look up a Vespa to give me some ideas of what colours everything were. And yeah. It's actually a pretty accurate drawing that RJ has done here. So it looks a little bit like a real Vespa. Okay, I think that's all I want to do there. I'm going to do my llama next because that's the next biggest thing on my page. So I'm going to go with some like creamy brown colours. I've got E170, E220, YR209 and E280. I am just going to double check what order these go in, because I pull them out and then I'm not sure which one's the darkest because they all look quite similar. So 209 I think is the darkest, which E170. So E170 is the darkest, and then YR209, then E220, and then E280. Okay, so I'm going to leave the E170 off for now. I'm going to use that just in certain areas, and I'm going to go in with the other three. And let's carry on. Oh, so this is a skin tone marker, so it's got the brush nib at the other end. There's little ears flying out behind him here. I'll just do the kind of top of his head to begin with, so that I don't end up doing too much and not having enough time for my paper to, or not leaving my paper wet enough as I'm working. 220 next. And then the E280. So this is quite a bit lighter than the other two, so it may take a couple of coats to get it looking nice and smooth. We'll see how it goes. Around the little necklace he's wearing, or she's wearing, I guess. Could be either, really. Hard to tell with a llama or an alpaca. I'm not sure. I never know whether it's a llama or an alpaca either. Okay. I'm going to see how that, it looks a bit patchy at the moment. I'm going to see how that dries down and whether I need another coat. But for now, we'll just do it like this. Really simple shading here. I'm not doing anything drastic at all. Kind of, it's almost like the light is coming from the front. Well, I've kind of done it all over the place today, to be honest, but we'll do our llama like this. Yeah, if you know what the difference is between a llama and an alpaca, let me know. I'd be interested to find out, because I haven't got a clue. I don't know whether it's, I mean, I know they're slightly different animals, but they look quite similar to me. I'm going to keep working over those transition areas and see if I can get them to smooth out a little bit. And then, like I say, it can always come back in with a second coat if it's still looking a bit patchy. See how that dries down. I'm going to do this little leg here. Right, so normally with an animal like this, I would do the face and maybe the hair a lighter color, but I think I'm going to go darker just because I struggled to find any lighter colors that would work. So I'm going to use E170 and then the darkest of the colors I used here, which is YR209. I'm going to, well, I hope that these ones are going to work together. Let's see. I just thought it would kind of look nice with a slightly darker face. I think it's going to work okay. I'll do this little tuft of hair up here as well. Like the light is fading fast. It started out and it was nice and sunny, and then it does tend to disappear quite quickly here once it starts to go down. And days are definitely getting a bit longer though as we move into summer. And I guess we're getting close to the summer solstice now. I think it's normally, is it around like the 21st or something of May, I want to say? I could be wrong about that, but kind of strikes a bell there. I don't know. But yeah, summer solstice, longest day of the year. Or is it in June? Maybe it's in June. Don't know. There's not a huge amount of difference here, obviously because we're quite close to the equator. The day lengths don't change drastically here like they do in other parts of the world. Between summer and winter, it does get slightly longer, but it's not a huge change. It's pretty subtle. Yeah, it's a lovely place to live, it really is. Okay, that's my llama. I don't know, I might come back and do something more with him in a minute. I'm going to turn my lamp on. I hope that's not too distracting, but I just feel like the light is really going and I'm struggling to, well, I don't know if it's struggling to show up on camera or not, but it's definitely getting darker for me. Right, next up, I'm going to do the hat. So I'm going to do the hat in kind of a yellowy colour. So we've got Y2, Y050 and Y030. And I'm going to colour in little bits here and there. And just working in little sections. Quite a bright colour for a sombrero, but I thought it would be kind of fun. Around the base there. And colour the inside a little bit darker. And maybe just around this kind of patterned edge. Not much room for the lightest colour here, but that's okay. I'll just add a little bit in. Probably should have kept it a bit lighter at the front, but that's okay. We'll just push the darker colour out a bit around this area, and that'll help. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with a little bit of red. So I've got 3 reds here. That's why I'm debating whether I need all 3 reds or whether I just use 2 reds. I might just use 2 because it's quite small areas. So I've got R6 and R160. And I'm going to, what am I going to do? I'll start with these little triangular designs here while I debate what I'm going to do for the rest of it. I have an idea, but I'm just not sure how it's going to work. Got some nice bright bold colours. Okay, this bit as well. Such a fun page. Yeah, I'm going to do this little bit as well in the red. And then I was going to do this little light back here as well. Little stop light. And then I'm going to use the lightest one first. I'm just going to go around the little beads with the lightest marker first, and then I'll use a darker one to shade over it. And I think that my llama is going to be very colour coordinated with his little Vespa here. I'm just going to deepen those up a bit because you can't really see. Okay, and then let's pull out the turquoise again, and I might just use the lighter 2 of these, so the G360 and the G340, and I'm going to do Actually, I'm going to do this. Oh, I should have done those bits as well. So I'm going to start again with the lightest one, and I'll lay that in, and then go over with the darker one. And I'll do some on the hat too. Might as well be all colour coordinated while we've got these colours out, and I'll do this bit. And then I forgot the little kind of tassels on the bottom of the hat, but I'm going to do the same red and kind of turquoisey colour combination as well. If you've watched my videos for any length of time, you'll know that I tend to like to keep my colours the same throughout and try not to introduce too many colours. Occasionally I will, depending on what I'm colouring, but yeah, I tend to try and keep them as similar as possible. Right, I'm going to go over this light with the Y050 because I wanted this to be yellow and I completely forgot about it. So I'm just going to add that in there. And then I want to do something with my llama, but I don't know if it's a good idea. Do I just leave them as is? Questions. Right, I'm going to debate that for a minute. I'm going to take actually I'm going to use, I think I'll use this colour, the NG06, just to fill in these little kind of stones or whatever they are flying out there. And then I'm going to use my lightest of the turquoisey markers and just add some kind of whir marks around the tire wheel like that. And then maybe just a few little zoom marks. Sorry, I'm going to get my hand in the way. Just like that at the back of the bike to look like it's moving forward. I haven't done that with those ones particularly straight, but you get the idea. They'll fade down a little bit anyway. Do I want to do, I don't know. I don't know whether to do anything to my llama or leave them. So what I'm thinking of, let's just go ahead, and I'm thinking of adding some kind of curls into him to make his fur look a bit curly. I don't know if this was a good idea or not. Might end up looking a bit silly, but you never know until you try, do you? I'm not very good at doing this sort of stuff, but it adds a little bit of something to him, doesn't it? Just a few little twirly whirlies. I don't know if that's made any difference or whether it's made it worse. I don't know. I'm going to keep adding some in and try and fill up all the space now, because I feel like it looks a little bit too yeah, might have been a bad idea. I don't know. Let's keep going. I'm committed now. I try to do them randomly, but I don't know, it always ends up looking like I've done it kind of in a pattern despite my efforts not to. But it's, yeah, it is what it is. Might have been better to leave well enough alone. Obviously, if you're following along, you can choose to do this step or not. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about it. Might have been better to leave them as was, but I'm going to do this, and then I'll probably go over again with the lightest marker, and then that will help fade these little curly cues out a little bit. I mean, it's a fun little detail. That's what this colour along is about doing fun stuff. Okay, so yeah, not particularly loving that, but it's okay. I'll take the lightest one again, so that's E280, and I'm just gonna blend over that and possibly see if it will help smooth the colour out of it. And make it maybe not quite so obvious. Don't know. Yeah, I think I should have left well enough alone. I never learn. I never learn. Never mind. It's okay. As long as we're having fun. Alright, hopefully it will dry down okay. Just look a bit odd, but that's alright. Alright, so let's grab a white gel pen. Let's me find the right one. I can never find it. So I've got a Sakura Gelly Roll in the size 10. And as always, I'm just going to add a few little bits of this here and there. Make them look a little bit fun. Oh, that one went a bit wonky. Gone outside the lines there, so I'm just going to clean that up with the white gel pen as well, so you can't see. A little bit down his back. Still quite wet there, so my gel pen's not working particularly well. Around his tail, a little bit on the seat. Yeah, if you follow me for any length of time, you'll also know that me and gel pens have a bit of a love-hate relationship. They never seem to want to work for me. Right, this is a size 10, so it should be a nice thick line, and it's really not. It's coming out quite thin. Don't know, can never seem to get it right. Okay, I'll do a little bit around the back here. Sorry, I'm going to have to turn it because I forgot to do the hat earlier. And cover up that mistake there. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm going to clean up his eyes a little bit because I've got a little bit of marker on the white of his eyes. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to add some, yeah, let's add some glossy accents to his eyes and see if it will work. Never wants to come out when I try and use it, but we'll give it a go. Always a bit skeptical about this. Right, straight away you can tell it's not going to work, so I'll grab my little pen. If I can get that out, there we go. I'm having a nightmare tonight. And let's see. Let's see if that's made a difference. Is it going to come out? Oh, it doesn't want to come out. I was kind of thinking about it. Maybe that will work. No. Let's try again. Yeah, that's worked. Okay, now I'm probably going to have too much. Alright, try and get that smoothed out. So if you don't know what glossy accents are, they're just like, it's like a liquid acrylic kind of thing, and it adds dimension, as it would say there. It does look a little bit cloudy when you first put it on, but it does dry clear, so once it's left to dry, it will dry clear and you won't notice it. Well, you will notice it, as in it's just kind of like a raised shiny area but completely see-through. So it's fun to add a little bit of dimension to things like eyes and glass and all that fun stuff. Okay, I think I'm going to call it quits there. That was Quadraped Moped, and that is page number 40 of our full book colour along. That was a lot of fun. I'm not sure about my curly curls on my llama or alpaca, but yeah, it's okay. It was fun. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you all again soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.